It's President
Maggie.
Wait, I gotta
And look at you. You're all like,
Look at you, I feel like
look
we
at
got
you.
matched.
You're all like,
Ready to.
yes, present.
Are we recording?
Yes.
The lead is. Thanks,
Are you
Nate.
recording?
Yes.
Just had to ask again. Oh God, here it starts. Okay, hi guys. My name is Brenda, and
Hi,
I'm
Brenda.
here to present on story structure. I want to say first and foremost, please lower your expectations because there was a lot of hype to this, and I want to say also, I am not presenting as an expert. I am brand new to this. I'm doing all this because I was so clueless about all this. So again, I'm brand new to this, but moving right into this. Okay, and I also want to say first and foremost, this is beta right there. I am planning at the end of this presentation to open this up to all of this potentially being changed. This is all written in dry erase marker, none of this is in permanent marker. And I feel like as a group, we need to come up with what works as a group. But I feel like I mostly did this for myself just because I needed to. But okay, let me go over here. That way all of my followers can see the board too.
Hey fam, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
Okay, so I want to start out by saying my references. So I read Save the Cat by Blake Snyder, Story Genius and Wired for Story by Lisa Cron, Story by Robert McGee, The Heron's Journey by Gail Carriger, and The Secret Life of the American Musical by Jack Vertel. I didn't actually finish that last book, but I got like halfway through. So I want to say the art of improv is real-time, instantaneous co-creation on stage. The audience comes here to see that idea pop fresh into your head on stage. And as improvisers, many of us do improv to tap into our own subconscious, our instincts, and to surprise ourselves on stage. And that is the magic of this art form. So I want to say the goal of this board is not to turn us into a sketch team and not to stop us from creating real time in the moment on stage. Same as how drawing a white line across a grass field, setting up goalposts, and out of bounds lines does not stop the spontaneous back and forth game of soccer. Rather, it allows for that unique game to be played. And we can still follow the fun, aka the ball, but the game we are playing is co-creating a musical on stage. And with a few goalposts drawn, we can give the audience all of those moments in musicals that we love. So my goal in creating this whiteboard is for it to be a tool to help us, keep track of time. So there's a little timer, and then I put little times there. And then also to keep track of stuff, because I feel like it's so easy, like when you're like on stage just throwing stuff out in the moment, it's easy to not keep track of it. So that's why I have all of these like white lines with the idea that basically, you know, the board that we use in the back where we just write like people's names, I was hoping to replace that board with this board as a tool that we use, and we can just like anything that happens, we write it down. And then also to help us know, like, okay, right now at minute 40, I need to make a big, bold choice in this direction. And it will help us to do less processing on stage and get straight into the action on stage. And these points on this board are kind of like lights in the dark. Like, you know, in improv, we're basically just jumping into the unknown, and I feel like if we collectively kind of have like a somewhat of like, oh, I need to go, I can't just like land here, I need to land here, you know, like I need to go big, I need to go bold in like this direction, and I need to do it right now, you know, I feel like this will help with that. And then I feel like this will help us to create a great, satisfying, full story And then also, I am speaking for myself that this board will help me to be less lost and confused generally, and help me to have an idea of the big picture that's happening. And so, moving on to the evolutionary biology behind stories. So basically, we think in story. We interpret past events of our lives in stories. So our brains cast us as the protagonist and then connects things together in cause and effect patterns and learns a lesson from what happened so that we can make the necessary changes going forward to predict better the future and survive the future better. And then also, human survival is group survival. And I repeat that human survival is survival of the group. And so just as we get dopamine from eating food and having sex, we get pleasure from listening to a story, but that is not why we listen to stories. Stories are part of group survival. They were basically our brain's dopamine response to stories. It evolved because from what we learn from stories. That's why all that happens in our brain. It's how we teach each other and educate each other on how to survive. When people share how they survived a bad thing happening to them, we are wired to listen and learn how we can survive that if we ever encounter it in the future. You wonder why stories are all about bad things happening to people. That is why when we hear a story, we unconsciously step into the protagonist's skin and experience the events of the stories through their eyes. The protagonist, aka the hero, is an avatar for the audience. The audience basically runs a simulation of what if this problem happens to me when they're watching a story. And how would I survive it? So unlike most other creatures, the human brain is a master of weeding out information. So basically, it's like in a story. Okay. Anyway, so the human brain uses more energy than the human body. Like, there's a whole history to why our brains are so big and process so much information, but thinking is expensive. It uses a lot of resources. So our brains are wired to weed out any thought that's not necessary to survival because it's using precious energy, so we think as little as possible. And that is why, basically, in a story, we are mimicking the inside of the audience's brain, and that's why in a story, all the information in a story needs to pertain to the protagonist's quest. If you're adding in any extraneous information, or if you add something that doesn't, and you don't tie it back in later into the story, you're going to lose the audience.
Can you repeat what you said about the protagonist as an avatar for what?
Just like, do you know
Avatar
how
is the audience.
Avatar?
Yeah.
Audience.
You know how you know in Avatar, like, they create creatures that they are in like a incubated little thing, but they're like living through the creature.
Yeah.
Right? So basically that's kind of like what the audience does, is they enter into the protagonist's skin and they live life through the protagonist.
Okay.
So unlike, God, I already said that.
You're saying story elements have to be relevant to the story to be kept by the brain, otherwise they get culled out.
Yeah, otherwise.
That's where you were.
Yeah, oh, thank you. So yeah, so otherwise you lose the audience, and so anyway, any information that does not pertain to the quest must be omitted, and that also is why the entire universe of the story, everything that happens, needs to revolve around the protagonist and around the protagonist's quest, and the internal decision-making process that they're doing in the decisions that they're making, and how they survived, and the decisions that they made in order to survive. Okay, so a Robert McGee quote is, "Most human beings believe that life brings closed experiences of absolute irreversible change, that their greatest sources of conflict are external to themselves, that they are the single and active protagonists of their own existence, that their existence operates through continuous time with a consistent, causally interconnected reality, and that inside this reality, events happen for explainable and meaningful reasons. End quote. And so basically we model our stories after the inside of the human mind, not after life itself. Because if anybody knows anything about quantum physics, life doesn't necessarily happen because of physics. But that doesn't matter to us right now. Okay, and then another Mark Twain quote is, of course, reality is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense. Right? Like mic drop, Mark Twain. Remember that your audience is looking for, in a story, how to better predict the future of their own lives. That's why in a story everything must happen in a cause and effect trajectory. Everything that happens must happen because it was directly caused by something that happened before it, which is another reason to make a hero origin story. So, even from the beginning, it was apparently caused by something that happened. Okay, moving over to the board. So, actually, I'll do this later. So, Elisa Cron quote is, the more you know your characters, the more your novel begins to write and revise itself, which is why it's good for like when you're making your protagonist or whatever, almost make them as close to like somebody you actually know. Just that way it's like you make them a real like complicated individual specific person, and the more you do that, the more the events are just gonna happen. And then know the origin of what's going on with your protagonist. Okay, so I'm just gonna get to the board. So I'm gonna go in order and then I'll hop. So basically, opening. Okay, so this is my proposal of what we use for like our shows, right? So minute 0 opening song. So in the opening song, you focus on world building and then the location. And then, get that. And then scene 1, I was also thinking about something else that I'll get back to later on that. Scene 1, okay, hero, and I was thinking, we write down like the name and the character. So I put down here actor name, sidekick actor name, because they come out, they see that right away. And then I don't know, maybe we can put relationship on here too, right? But then somewhere needs to be the hero needs a desire, right? Okay, now let me actually go over here, right? So hero. So who is the hero? So the hero, he needs to be identifiable. He doesn't need to be likable, but he needs to be like me. Because the audience needs to feel connected to the hero to the point where they become the hero. I've already said, and then another thing is, why is the hero in every story a good person? Is because everybody thinks that they're a good person. Even some famous villains thought that they were good people, and I'm talking about people in real life, right? Everybody thinks that they're a good person, and that's basically why your protagonist is a good person. And then another thing is like a big part of the story is like lessons, right? Is every story has a lesson, because again, it's like people read stories to learn something. And then a big thing about human survival is the ability to work well with others, and that's another reason why protagonists are good people. People that work well with others. But okay. And then, protagonist deep down is a good person, and then all actions are justifiable. Where even if they're doing bad things, it's justifiable, and then so scene 1, the hero has an I want song. So that's from the Secret Life of an American Musical, that every musical basically right away the hero has an I want song. So the desire needs to be big. It can't just be small, because then where's your story gonna go, right? So the desire needs to be passionate, it needs to be long held. They've had that desire for 25 years and have never done anything about it. It's their deepest heart's desire. And it needs to be deep too. I gotta write that down. But, okay. And then, this is something that it's like, I'm still kind of figuring this one out, but I think this, if we can collectively figure out how to add this in, I think this would be like really good. It's like basically the misbelief / flawed worldview that the protagonist has, which then, anyway, I'll get into it. Misbelief. So it's related to the desire. Basically, it's why does the hero believe that her heart's desire is not possible for her? And it stems from an emotionally wounding past event when this way of thinking saved her previously from pain in a twisted / incorrect way, but in a way where it got locked in. You know people with bad habits from trauma, right? And then, it's a flawed worldview. So, and then I was thinking basically in our story, the villain is basically part of the problem. Like the villain isn't the only aspect of the problem, but the villain and the problem it's like two peas in a pod. They go hand in hand, right? The villain brings the problem, but it's not the only, anyway. So we got villain, actor name, whatever, and then basically the villain's want. Like, what does the villain want, right? And typically the villain's already powerful, whatever. So the villain sings another, like, I want song, and then at some point in the villain scene, they introduce the one single compounding problem. So that's the thing with a story, is like, it can't be a series of different problems that comes at the protagonist. It needs to be just be one single problem that gets worse and worse and worse and worse and changes. So I was thinking the villain, basically the villain and the henchman, those actors will invent the problem on stage in the middle of scene 2. And then I was thinking, because the inciting incident needs to either happen it must happen at the end of scene 1 or at the end of scene 2, just time-wise, because we only have an hour. And then, like May said, she said that you want the first 3 scenes to be the longest scenes, because like in improv, like the Herald, like you start out with your scenes being longer, and then it gets shorter. So basically, inciting incident needs to either happen at the end of scene 1 or scene 2. And I thought that it makes more sense for it to happen at the end of scene 2. That way the villain can introduce the problem. And then, so what I was thinking, and again, like we might need to iron this out, but I was thinking that what could happen is the villain goes on, sings an I want song, and then it could go into a montage. Like they create the problem, like, we're gonna explode that, and then it goes into a montage of them actually starting that, of them actually going and like putting the fuse down on the thing, montage, and then basically the last slide of the montage would be the hero comes back on stage, because the inciting incident must happen on stage. Like, the audience must see it happen, and the hero must react. Like, oh no. So I was thinking that could be a way to do that. So inciting incident must happen on stage. It's an explosive event. And then ask, what is the most triggering / worst thing that could happen to a person with this misbelief and this desire? And it has to be something unavoidable. It begins the problem, the one single compounding problem, and it takes away all security from the protagonist. So basically, it's like, anyway, I have some example stories that we'll run through, and then also it needs to have stakes, which could, that it also needs to be kind of like thrown in pretty much right away. So the stakes is gonna set like why the hero must take action. They can't have the option of just not doing anything about it. And it also sets a time limit, like a ticking time thing goes off, and it creates a sense of urgency. Time deadline, fast approaching, sense of urgency. Okay. And then, so then scene 3, and I know May really wants this to just be a fun thing, and it's good to give the audience like a rest, right? Because we've just had like problem, villain, the worst thing in the world just happened to the protagonist, and cut, and now we have like a fun scene, right? And so this is introducing like the B characters, and should just be like funny, lighthearted. This section in Save the Cat is called like fun and games, right? So it's fun. Okay, and then I was thinking at the end of scene 3, we hop in, and because we're a little short on time, right? We only have 60 minutes. He should already be on his quest. Like, cut out all the other things, right, in story structure, and he should already be on his quest. And yeah, he's already like in the middle of attempting the first solution that he's trying to for the problem. So in the rising action, so it's again, oh my god, I'm about to say this for like the 10th time. It is one single compounding problem. Everything that the hero does to solve the problem only makes it worse, and the hero keeps passing points of no return, and the risk increases, the opportunity cost increases, he just keeps having to give up more and more and more, and everything happens by cause and effect, and then his misbelief keeps getting in the way of solving the quest problem, and then the hero only puts on band-aids and treats symptoms, and his misbelief stops him from going after the actual problem. And also in this period, give a lot of attention to what is happening internally with the hero, like why is she making these decisions? Because that's another thing that like hooks the audience. But okay, so then we get to the midpoint, which is the hero's false victory, and the villain seems to have been defeated. So hero, yay, celebrate, heroes on top, problem solved. And that's another thing is like, I feel like a good story should feel like a roller coaster to the audience. You should experience like relief. Oh no, then the problem's worse. Oh, relief. Oh, then the problem's worse. So in this one, it's just like temporary relief for the audience. False victory. Oh, the villain's defeated, right? Villain goes into the shadows, and then we go to this one, which is wait, where am I at? Rising action. Okay, so then that's minute 30, and then basically bad guys regroup in the shadows. Hero's team has internal issues, and then we go to the all is lost moment, which is the hero's false defeat, right? Where this is like everything is gone, all hope is lost. Hero descends into hell. Like if anybody's gonna die, they're gonna die in here, like mentors and whatever. And then I feel like there should be a song, or at least vocalizing how the hero feels. Like I feel like really bad, so the audience can like connect with it. And then the aha moment is when the hero basically faces his misbelief. Is when the hero figures out that he's wrong, he's seen things wrong, and that provides the solution to the problem. Hero finds one last solution and then heads into battle. And then we got the climax. So the climax, it's intense, but it doesn't necessarily need to be explosive. It can be drawn out a little bit. It is the absolute limit of human experience. We need to go just like as far as our imaginations can carry us. And then the fate of the world hangs in the balance. And there's also, okay, so hero goes after, so then the hero, okay, this again, like we don't have to do any of this, but I put on here what I think is something that we should do, is I feel like the hero goes after the bad guys in ascending order. So he goes after the henchmen, like henchman number 1, and then henchman number 2. And then it ends in a one-on-one standoff with the hero and the villain.
Boss fight.
And then the hero is victorious, and then his internal desire, what he originally sang that want song about, he has it. And his quest is fulfilled. And then so then before victorious, there needs to be like a crisis moment is a big thing where like it's basically a standstill where it's like, do you cut the blue wire or the red wire on the bomb? Right? It's like that moment before every climax. It's like the standstill where you just draw out the suspense, right? Okay, and then on to, and then the thing with climaxes is like no deus ex machina, which basically means, that translates as God in the machine, and it's an old like Greek theater reference where basically at the end of their plays, Athena would come down and solve their problems. Basically just like a god would come down and be like, okay, everything's solved, done, bye. So basically what that translates to for us is no coincidence that everything happens because of a choice made. Because again, it's like we are doing all this for the audience. As much as I love doing this, we're ultimately doing this for the audience. And it's like that, and again, it's like, what is the audience looking for? The audience is looking for like, how can I control what I can control in the future? So what can you control? You can control your decisions, right? So that's why there should be a lot of emphasis on like the hero's choices, why the hero is making the choices that he's making. So again, no deus ex machina, no tornado that comes through and kills the villain. So okay, final song, minute 60. Big thing needs to be a lesson learned. And then all subplots resolved, and the world is changed for the better. And then I got this lovely little timer that I bought for $3 on Amazon. That's adorable. But I was thinking like, I'm gonna just run three example stories through this, and then I'll be done. And then I'll be done at like 30 minutes. Okay, so I think story that is true to my heart is Mean Girls, and I think that it actually, like, Mean Girls runs through this really well. But okay, Mean Girls 2004. Location is a new high school. Hero is Katie. Sidekicks are Janice and Damien, and her desire is to fit in socially in the new school. And her misbelief is that she can't be herself, right? Where she has to hide herself, where she's going in the bathroom and eating lunch in the bathroom. And then the villain, Regina George, sidekicks Gretchen and Karen. Inciting incident is when Regina kisses Katie's crush, Erin, at the Halloween party. And then the one single compounding problem is to dethrone Regina George as queen of their high school and take away her power. And then again, it's like they don't have everything in here, or at least I couldn't come up with everything. But then in the quest, because Katie never faces just being herself, right? So she starts failing math because she is trying to get her crush to pay attention to her. So in trying to solve her problem, in trying to fit in, she starts failing math. And then some other things. And then the midpoint is when Regina is kicked out of the plastics because she's too fat. And then Katie's queen now, and then all the henchmen are following her, and then she's queen, and then she throws a raging house party. But then at the party, all is lost because Katie loses Erin because she's acting like Regina, right? She's not acting like herself, she's acting like a bitch. And then she also loses her friends too, and then she goes back to sitting alone in the bathroom stall. And then, and then the burn book is released, and then the aha moment, which comes a little bit externally, but the aha moment is when Katie is forced to be herself. She's forced to join the mathletes and compete with the mathletes. And then the climax is when she's in the mathematics competition and she must answer a really hard question. There's even that crisis moment, right? Where she's like, ding, 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 and then you zoom in on that, zoom in. And then suspense. Katie wins the competition. The limit does not exist, and Katie wins. Cody wins the competition. And then the resolutions, and at the dance, when Katie takes the crown, she has one wearing, she breaks it off, and she's wearing her mathlete's uniform, she breaks it off and she gives it to everyone. And she's just like herself, and she's being a good person, and the world is better, the school is better, the school has changed, and even Regina George has changed, and yeah, that's Mean Girls. I was gonna do Star Wars, I'm gonna skip Star Wars, because we're getting a little pressed. But I am going to do The Little Mermaid, and no business on me. So, okay, we got The Little Mermaid, 1989. Hero is Ariel. And the sidekicks are Sebastian and Flounder. And then, okay, where are we at? Ocean, Hero, Ariel, Sebastian, Flounder. Desire is that she wants to go live on land. And then her misbelief is that land is better than the water. The inciting incident is when Ariel rescues Eric out of the ocean and falls in love with him. Okay, and then the villain is introduced. Ursula, henchmen are the eels, and the villain's desire is to possess souls and retain power. And then Ariel's quest is basically to get Eric, and to be a human being. So Ariel makes a deal with Ursula. So in this one, the inciting incident happens here. So the inciting incident happens basically before the villain and the problem is even introduced, right? So this one's, it's a little anyway, but still general structure, it's the same thing. But which is another reason was to this is flexible. We can figure out what works best for us as an improv team and as improvisers. Because again, it's some of the best stories ever written don't necessarily follow this structure. But anyway, not to just completely discredit my entire proposal. So anyway, villain's desire to possess souls and retain power. Quest, Ariel makes a deal with Ursula and is given a time limit, and when the prince can kiss her, and also what's at stake is Ariel's soul, that little thing, and then okay, basically on this quest, Ariel keeps getting closer and closer to kiss him, and then basically her false victory is when he basically leans in to kiss her. Basically, he's in love with her. He's got him in the bag. He leans in to kiss her, and then the eels turn over the boat, and that's the midpoint right there. So then basically the bad guys regroup. Ursula's like, oh fuck, I gotta do something about it. So she takes on Ariel's voice and then goes after Eric. All is lost is when Ursula seduces Eric and they are to be married. And then the aha moment, so in this story, it's not internal, it is an external aha moment, but it's when Ariel finds out that the new bride is Ursula. So then they go, her and all of her friends go head into battle. They go to the wedding. And then the climax is there. It's kind of like a long, drawn-out climax, right? Because it's they fight at the wedding, and then Ursula gets big and all that. And so they kill Ursula. And then the resolution is the internal change actually happens with Ariel's dad. He's the one that has the internal change when he realizes how much Ariel and Eric love each other, and then he changes her into a human, and they live happily ever after. Well, that was my presentation.
Yes!
When you were first walking us through that, I was like, oh, Rapunzel has that. Rapunzel has that. Rapunzel has that. Rapunzel has that. Yeah.
Missed that one. Whoopsie doodle.
But I didn't know what her false victory is. I didn't know any of that. But
Yeah, I like the example.
Examples definitely help.
Was there another Star Wars?
Yeah, I do have Star. You guys want me to do Star Wars?
Sure.
Okay. Yes.
I may have a proposal.
Okay.
If possible, could we maybe perhaps build a story?
Yeah. Yes. Sir. Let's do it. Can I
but
just
don't
say?
erase that.
Yeah. I was like, okay. I literally got multi-different colors of permanent markers.
Woo!
Because I was thinking, when we actually go to use this, I'll just And then also another thing that I could do is type it out and print it on like magnetic paper because this is magnetic. So that way it looks like less of a mess, right? So this could everything that we decide on, I can like actually type out.
I can
You know,
do just the beats like
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
short words so
Perfect.
you don't have to.
You could also-
Yeah, whatever, but again, it's like I didn't want to write anything permanently. You know what I mean? It's just whatever we decide on. I'll make it permanent. That way, like in a show, I hope we do use this in a show. I also have lots of dry erase markers that we can use.
Woo!
I wish Suzanne was more supportive.
I know, gosh.
A couple quick thoughts. Yes, you can write stories other ways, and that can be very successful. But that's one person planning, editing, going back and changing,
Yep.
and that's a very different situation. By having this, and like especially the hero want and the villain want at the beginning, which I've been pushing for forever, we're all on the same page. We have this as our collective mind, since we can't go back and change, and we're not in one head.
Yep.
So having this is really strong. As for the no deus ex machina, not only do I fully agree with that, but yes, anding that, it's also less satisfying if someone else finds the solution for the hero, which is like a subset of deus ex machina. So if what's the word? Not henchman, the other one, sidekick. If sidekick finds a solution, the hero goes, "Oh, great," and it turns out okay. Less satisfying. So the hero needs to be the one to find that, and I'm
So
glad
if the
you were-
sidekick actor thinks of it, they need to whisper it to the hero.
Right.
And
Or put something in place so that the hero can figure it out for himself.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, he's not on his own, it's still improv. But if you bring up the fact that there's a telegraph machine, there is, well then I would never have thought it. Well, yes, you did think of it, you put the telegraph machine there. But the hero has to be the one to say it.
Okay, add it.
Brenda, can I ask a question about the villain's want
Yes.
as it relates to the hero's desire?
Yeah.
Because I feel like often when we're doing shows, like whatever the villain's want is like in direct opposition to the hero's desire. But in your examples, they're maybe related, but not necessarily like this. So I'm just curious in the story research that you did, like, is the villain want? I mean, villains think of themselves as the good person, but is their want always opposing
I
the
mean,
hero's
just
desire?
because, like, Ursula's want, I guess it kind of like her want was like power, right? Those
Her
more-
want was to overthrow Ariel's father. She wanted to overthrow him.
Okay, I don't know. What do y'all think?
I have learned that it doesn't have to be, for me to work on it, it doesn't have to be like direct, like, if she wants to be with Eric, it doesn't have to be like, the
I have to
villain wants to
steal
stop her from getting with Eric.
Right.
But they have to have a philosophy that is going to hinder.
I mean, what's
in
Regina's
some way, whether it's like,
Yeah, Regina's just power and control and flattery and.
Right, Regina is trying to keep what's her name down? Katie down.
The only reason
But
she
it
makes
works
out with
to
Aaron
her-
is to fuck with Katie.
Yeah.
But it works to her advantage to do it, and that gets in
But is
Katie's
there
way.
want, like, this school to stay the same?
Regina's is, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is?
The villain is always happy to
Maintain
change
her
status
own
quo.
power.
Do we have that?
wait, so just to finish what I was saying, is just that philosophy, Aaron just has to like have a worldview that somehow hinders.
Yeah.
Sets the stage for additional
and it has like,
conflict.
in that case, it's like one of your soul, you know, there is a connection to the, but it doesn't have to be, it can be greed or power, but it has to hinder in some way, but not like a,
That's why we often use the word philosophy instead of
examples
want.
would help.
Piggyback off of that.
go ahead.
Yeah, so it's usually, if you view it as kind of like a road, right? So the hero's story is kind of like a road. The villain should never be like, I guess, like a wall or something that just completely stops them or gets in the way. Like, think of it as kind of more of like a crossroads. Like, they both have their own individual wants and storylines, and then they just intertwine.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay, so
So like, for example, you know, should never be like you were saying, like this villain just wants to, like, let's say somebody wants to get married, and then this villain just was like, I don't want this person to get married. That's a boring villain. Like it should be like, I don't know. So this person wants to get married, and then the villain's like a wedding planner that wants to stay in business, or a marriage psychologist, right? And so they want to stay in business, and they want all relationships to be terrible, so that way they can, stay in business and keep generating revenue and stuff like that. Does that make sense? So then the person, like whoever the hero is gonna have to like mess with their vision and their plans. Like it should butt heads, but it should never be like, I'm only focusing on this person, or I'm only focusing on this person.
Well, Rapunzel, the witch, stole the princess, and the witch is protecting the princess from the scary world. She tells the princess, it's scary, I'm protecting you. So the princess stays in the tower. But the princess just wants to not be in the tower, which is in direct opposition to the lie that she's been told. But the real thing that the witch wants is to prevent her to get to the throne. She wants to take down the royal family.
Okay, but like
I don't know why she.
Rapunzel, like Tangled Rapunzel, or just
All Rapunzels are the same.
Doesn't she
Rapunzel,
want to be young?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Because she has like
Because the
shiny.
hair.
Yeah.
she wants to be young?
Well, that's Tangled Rapunzel, but
That's why.
she takes the princess to fuck up the royal family and keeps her there by fear.
Good on Disney for adding like the light up hair plot because that like Loki makes more sense.
I don't know, this just also me from like seeing it not being an actual like story process.
You're part of the story.
Kind of. But like when I watch you guys perform, more often than not, I never want to see the villain fail. But I always want to see the hero succeed. So like, you know,
Yeah.
I'll say like the one where it's like, oh, you have like the hero wants to scale the mountain, and then there's a guy on the top who's like, no one can scale my mountain, right? The villain at the end of the day
Yeah.
is not gonna like perish and die and be like, oh, I'm faulty, I'm gonna die. It's like, well, you made it up the mountain.
I know what you're saying. Like in Star Wars, when they say we're making a Death Star, you want to see the Death Star blow up a planet.
Yeah.
And when they say they have a super robot that can kick the good guys' super robot, you want to see that super robot.
I think I didn't quite understand. So for the villain, you're saying you want a villain that you want to see fail.
The
But you're
villain
not
has
seeing-
to seem threatening.
Is that
Yeah,
what you're
the
saying?
villain has to seem threatening, but I more so want, like, no matter what, the hero has to succeed.
Yeah.
But the villain doesn't necessarily like have to fail. Like,
Villain's just
yeah,
overcome.
So that doesn't
You
be
know,
satisfying for
Well,
the
I thought
villain
you
to
were saying
change.
you want
Yeah.
that, but you
Yeah.
don't see it.
I don't. It doesn't
don't-
need to happen.
yeah, you don't like what the villain's doing, but you want to see them
Yeah.
like do
Villain's
their
got a
action
villain.
in order to be threatening. Does that make sense? Because if
They need to
Darth
follow
Vader
through
never
on
makes
their
the Death Star, then he's not threatening.
Yeah. They need to follow through on their threats. So if they say they can kick a continent into Mars, they gotta kick it into Mars. And then the hero can fix it.
To go back to the idea, they don't have to be absolutely opposing. Like you think about Devil Wears Prada. Meryl Streep's goal is not to keep Anne Hathaway down. Her goal, if she had a philosophy, it's everything needs to be perfect and effortless for me. It happens that Anne Hathaway is the antithesis of that happening. Because Anne Hathaway is, I want to succeed and I want to be myself in the process. And that doesn't work well. But eventually it works where Anne Hathaway doesn't have to completely change. She adapts a little and gets what she wants. And Meryl Streep is a little change to acknowledge, oh, maybe it's not so bad. So you see a little change there. But her goal was not to thwart Anne Hathaway. It was to get what she wanted. They found a way to both get there.
Do we want to do some scene or a practice story?
Create a story.
We want
Yeah.
to talk it
And
out.
to your point, if we didn't see the Death Star blow up, whatever, Naboo, Alderaan, thank you. If we didn't see that, we wouldn't give a shit about it getting blown up later. It's a planet.
Is the Death Star good or
Some
bad?
chick was
Yeah, that's
Bad.
what she suggested.
Yeah, so like if we didn't
Like
see it do it,
I
I think we
mean,
didn't talk about it.
people
We
kill
wouldn't care.
people. Death Stars don't kill people. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Death Stars don't kill people.
People kill
The
Death
people
Stars.
that launch it.
People from Death Stars kill people.
First
Nukes the
impression.
Oh,
It's just called the
boy.
Death Star.
Oh
We
boy.
got a question and then we'll plan it out.
So this makes a ton of sense, and I'm about to nerd out really hard, which is that to me, the visual design of what information you pack on the board is going to be the hardest part. The layout and how to make it readable really easily at a glance, because that's phenomenal for presentation, but if you're in the middle of a show and you're trying to glance at it to learn something, like
Yeah.
I studied design stuff and dashboarding, so I know this is a very hard exercise you have ahead of you to decide what you want where on there. So if you guys want to do a story,
I
work
believe
through
in
it,
you.
can,
You can
but
do
I
it.
also think your layout questions are going to take a decent amount of time ahead of you.
We've already internalized, like, scene 0 is the opening number and scene 1 is the hero establishing a want. Like, we've internalized some of that, so we don't necessarily need to actually write
Right.
hero.
Well, okay, so here's how I feel about that is because so I have like horrifically bad ADHD. So I have like when it comes to processing, I feel like especially when you're in the moment doing stuff, I feel personally getting the actor name because it's like low key. You're kind of in the middle of a panic. At least I am. When it comes to like being on
100%.
stage,
Yeah.
that I kind of need actor, name, henchman,
Yeah.
want, because you want to know why, because I feel like this board is going to help us to process,
Yeah.
because that way we're not processing, we're just creating. You know what I mean?
I think you can have that if the board stopped.
Thank you.
If the board stopped here.
Or should we have the
Because I
process?
think this is just gonna start happening
This
at
is a
that
living
point.
document.
And we're not gonna
Okay.
continue to write as we're doing that part of the show so
Yeah.
far into it. We just need to know what's in place so we can see it through.
It's a living
So I think if we just had that over, it might give us more.
Or if we process on something small.
Because we should have.
I see what you're saying, and I think that having all of this here is only helpful. Like,
Okay,
it doesn't
we don't need
hurt.
that.
No, I'm saying keep it, because for me to re-engage and like remind myself until it is rote in my body, until I feel confident that, oh, I can hit every mark every time, then fine. You know, but I'm still new to this, and so I'm still learning and figuring
That's
all
fine.
this out. Yeah, and on this side, I think that I like your vision in terms of having it here. It doesn't hurt, you know, to be reminded of this is what's going on, and so I don't have to be remembering, and I'm not processing, I'm creating. That I really resonate with that you said. Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Just, yeah, because another thing is like, okay, again, it's like, another reason why I made this is because I feel like just so that this all can be on the top of our heads, where we're like, it's go time. It's minute 30.
Yeah.
I gotta do A and B.
Yeah.
And then you're going out, the fucking audience is laughing, you're thinking about being funny, you're on stage with 5 different people, everybody's doing something different, and you're like, okay, A and B. I just gotta do A and B. You know what I mean? Yeah. I guess I mostly made this bar for myself. I don't know if
It's
yes.
helpful.
Well, for the minute markers that you put on there, is that when it's supposed to happen at, like, when it's supposed to happen at the time, or when you guys, like, figured out what it was?
Well,
Because, like, if you guys are figuring out the climax at minute 55 when it's supposed to happen,
oh
then
yeah,
it's like,
this is when it's supposed to happen, like on stage.
I think you were trying to make them like those are the guidelines you talked about earlier.
The what?
You said
Guideposts.
that they're like lights that guide us.
Yeah.
So those minute marks are kind of like those little
Yeah.
beacons.
The
Yeah,
stripes on the
and
field.
then this too. So this is a stopwatch. That way we can always like basically we go da 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 the musical, boop, you know, and
Yeah.
and
It's
then we,
pretty too.
Or like
Thank you.
55 might be a little late, 'cause if the final song is 3 or 4 minutes, that only leaves like 1 minute for the climax
Oh,
scene.
okay. So what do you think? This should be 50?
52-ish. I mean, just so
You
we
guys
have
have-
enough
The
time to actually
climax is
sing.
taking place at
Don't you have
55.
70?
We technically have 70 minutes.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought we were 8:30 to 9:30. No?
Well,
The next show starts at around 10.
It starts
Oh,
at
that's-
9:45.
We got a little wiggle.
Okay, but
And we have a few minutes of getting the intro at the
Correct.
beginning, so that's less.
But
Yeah.
we don't want to be in the habit of going over, right? Because we want to shoot for
And we
ending
want
at
the
60
9:45
minutes,
show to
right?
start at 9:45.
I guarantee you, we will never hit those minutes exactly.
Yeah, I think for the beginning,
Yeah.
let's keep it the way it is, just to
Yes,
keep it.
we need
Yeah.
to have
And then
exit on the
as,
stage.
like, as we said before, it's a living document, we'll adjust where needed.
Okay.
But I think this is a really good,
Yeah.
like,
Foundation.
yeah.
I think that-
It's an
okay,
hour.
and
That
then-
being said, great transition. Let's
Suggestions.
talk it out real quick, maybe do for 10 minutes, let's plan a story.
Love with the story?
And don't
Okay.
forget, part of our time is also getting suggestions and doing all that shit.
Yeah.
And then I would say we try to run at least a first half.
Okay, so
Remainder.
picture that.
There's a glow, clear.
I'm impressed.
I'm gonna try one more time.
Okay,
Your
so
note
we can
taking.
run it
Unfortunately,
like
it won't help it if we get this remote.
Also, I can put a, well, I'll put a picture of it on Basecamp.
Yeah, well, I was going to do that by
Oh.
non-glary.
Thank you. Okay, so, you guys wanna do it?
Sure.
I'll go, okay, so, alright, so world building.
It's very glary, sorry.
So world building, okay, can I get a suggestion for a location?
A marshmallow factory.
A Marshmallow Factory
the
musical.
It's the second time marshmallows have been poured.
A chocolate factory, whatever.
No,
Candy
I just thought it was a fun.
It's already been done, it's already been.
Okay. Alright, so opening song, world building, what's the chorus gonna be?
I'm in a sticky situation.
Okay.
Oh, snap. That's a good one. We all work in the factory getting those marshmallows out.
Okay.
Because there's no I'm. It's what we all are. It's the setting.
Let that ready to go.
Okay. All right, and then, oh, so here was my other idea. This is something else that we could possibly do, but again, I feel like if we ever hypothetically did want to do the inciting incident here before we introduce the villain, anyway, I had an idea for how we could possibly do that, but
What is it?
anyway. I don't-
What's the next thing?
Okay, the what?
You lead us, Brenda.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, we'll just start it simple for now, we'll just go. But, okay, so, hero, what's the hero's name?
Taffy.
Taffy?
Chad Taffy.
Chad Taffy. No relation with Chad. Okay, so,
Chad Taffy.
who's the sidekick?
Gizmo Gadget.
Perfect, Gizzy Gash.
Oh, I love Gizzy. Yeah, that's, yeah.
All right. So, what is the hero's super passionate, long-held, deep heart's desire? His big desire.
That
Someone who hasn't spoken yet.
candy is a
Someone who hasn't spoken.
is the connection.
Someone who hasn't spoken yet!
To dip a marshmallow in chocolate.
I was thinking exactly
Okay.
that.
Yes.
Okay,
To
wait,
change
hang
the
on.
entire industry by dipping the marshmallow in chocolate.
But that's a
Hang
work-
on,
making
hang
a
on,
chocolate
That's not
deeper.
personal.
Okay, so here,
Deeper.
so you want to know why?
Deeper.
Because I
Yes.
went through and I was trying to run this example stories, and I found that like when the want is shallow, it's harder to come up with
Ah.
stuff. Like the deeper, more heartfelt, more primitive your want is. Thank you. But I just got roaring thumbs up. He was trying to do a double thumbs up,
Ah.
but
So take that idea and make it deeper, Brenda. What would you do?
okay. So
Make medicine. Make the marshmallows medicine because because his sister is diabetic and gets sick every time she eats it. So he wants to make
Heal the world with marshmallows.
heal the world with marshmallows.
Okay.
And he believes that he can do it.
Yeah, nice
Okay,
big one. I like
desire.
that.
He wants to heal the world with marshmallows.
Or from marshmallows. Yeah.
Okay.
And the
And
song is a
now-
little bit toasty.
What
But
is
she
his,
said the
what-
marshmallows are good, so we can't have conflicting ideas. Marshmallows are good in her story. Marshmallows saved her sister, right?
The marshmallow,
They need to
he's,
be medicinal so
they're
their
medicinal.
diabetic sister.
Their insulin.
Well, not
mode.
yet.
Yeah.
Not yet, right? They're not yet.
they're not
That's
yet.
what he
That's the
wants.
quest.
Yeah. The quest is to make marshmallows okay for diabetics like her.
Oh, I
Okay, hang on.
misunderstood. So marshmallows are not changing marshmallows so that they can
Yes.
do that. Okay, I
Making
misunderstood
medicinal
that.
marshmallows. Okay, so now what misbelief? Why does this hero believe that this is not possible for him? That he can't ever heal the world. He can't ever heal people.
I've already spoken, so unless someone else has something, I have something.
Well, also I feel like too, this is like the point also like this shit is hard. We need 20 of us to come up with a story. So I feel like if you got an idea in your head, like shout it out.
I was gonna say maybe it's like a long family business and a recipe.
Oh,
The marshmallows.
yes.
And no one takes him
long
seriously.
Passed on and so he doesn't he's
culture?
like can't like he I don't know if that's he believes he can't change it.
Yeah.
That's maybe
The
an
family
external-
doesn't
Okay.
listen, he's,
That's not
so
an
he thinks he's
internal
worthless.
misbelief,
Okay,
but
he's think his family.
it's maybe an external misbelief.
He's
It's
too
affecting
timid
control.
to
No, that's
advocate the
good.
idea.
Like his family won't accept him.
He tries to change the way they've been doing it for
He doesn't want to be a rebel.
generations.
He flunked out of candy school.
Because it's tradition. And
Okay.
part of the whole ethos in the factory is a sense of tradition.
This is the way
This
it's
is
always
this
been.
is the
Kills
way
the
that we
sister.
do
My
it.
father,
This
Willy
is the-
Wonka, made a chocolate bar like that.
This
Ins-
is the
you
way
need
that
insulin.
it's done. We've taken over the entire world
And
with
no
our
one would listen to me,
marshmallows.
because
So what's
everyone
the-
thinks
what is
that
the misbelief?
tradition's
I
the most
can't
important
read
The
that.
thing.
misbelief is clearly hit the word with the message. Can't you read my handwriting?
No,
All
but
right.
No.
Desire. All right.
That was the desire.
You're mocking me, but it's very small and very far
So
away.
No,
Like,
no.
vision like
It
that.
wasn't until you said that I was like, I should put more effort to make this legible. Like people are
No,
gonna actually
your handwriting, I'm
Heal.
sure, is
The
very
first
neat,
word
but
is
it's
heal,
all
like
way
you-
far away.
But okay.
word-
Heal.
The
Heal.
misbelief
Heal the
is-
world.
Misbelief is that family won't accept him if he breaks tradition.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that complicated enough for us?
I think
I
that's
guess.
enough to drive a story.
Okay. I'm asking, I don't doubt
It's
that.
you
it's
versus
something,
your
so
entire upbringing, so that's pretty hard.
Haven't
Yeah.
won that one yet.
It's a whole season of Nobody Wants This, if anybody's watching that, is him bucking his family.
That's
It's
true.
a whole musical tradition.
Sure.
Tradition.
All right, what's
Exactly.
after that?
Okay, so then now we
The villain.
introduce the villain. Who the villain?
His dad.
Ooh, that's
Whoa.
excellent.
The parent of the
Maybe
diabetic
This is
Why
sister.
why
have
we
been
do
diabetic.
this. Okay, the villain
like-
is his dad. What's his dad's name?
And he does like that.
Carl Taffy, maybe.
Carl Taffy.
Yeah, I thought the villain didn't want.
Oh, the villain.
Okay. Of the long-standing Taffy
Hardy
family.
Taffy.
But okay,
What did you
so
name?
Carl Taffy.
Carl
Who are the henchmen?
They're brothers. His
Brothers.
brothers.
Stupid brothers.
But do you see this? This makes good story.
The older brothers.
They're stupid
They're two
because
older
they
brothers.
only follow tradition. They don't use any critical thinking.
Okay, stupid brothers. What are their names?
Sorry.
Brad and
Chuck.
Thad.
Chuck.
Brad and Thad.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Ha.
We got Brad and Fed. But
Those are the eels.
okay, so
Brad,
what
Fed,
is the villain's want/philosophy?
To hold the tradition. Things
More marshmallows.
things will never change.
Okay. All right, villain sings a song called
Tradition.
Tradition.
Marshmallow.
Stuck in the
Unrelated.
past.
Stuck in the past.
Ah, there we go.
Okay.
Because it's
Well, hang on,
He
we're
would
gonna
call
go
it
to
that.
villain.
Saluting the
villain
family.
Situation.
want-
The villain would say doing things the same way is
how we.
Right,
did
saluting.
video.
How we-
I like that I'm still
Opposite of what
success.
the antagonist
We've been successful.
as opposed
Everybody.
to some tangential
Why
thing.
not stay stuck in the
Yeah.
past?
We did make
Because he wouldn't see it as
We did
stuck, he
mini
would see it as saluting.
marshmallows.
Look
So-
to say the future is the past.
So, okay, so now here's the question. So the hero sings a song. Tradition, I keep tradition, and then, so then it goes to a montage of basically action, of him going into action.
The villain.
And he does shit which then leads to the inciting incident, when the hero steps on stage and the fucking deck of cards of the hero's life just collapses in front of our eyes.
Dad
Let's give
destroys all of
example.
his experiment notes on trying to change the recipe.
So this, it's saying this is literally Henry Ford.
What?
Huh?
He did this to his son.
Mm.
Henry Ford.
Henry Ford's dad or Henry Ford?
Henry Ford to his son. His son wanted to create a better engine, and Henry was like, "No, I'm in control." So he actually had the engine destroyed in front of his
Oh
son.
shit.
What a bitch.
What a piece of shit.
That's like
He
the
was
scene
a
in
piece of
Wreck-It
shit.
Ralph.
And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Henry
Horrible
Ford is not
anti-Semite.
the last or the first.
Let's kill him. Let's find him.
But it took us 100 years, we killed his company pretty much.
No, maybe.
Wait, so what is this montage? So we're envisioning like
Oh.
a factory scene with like the dad, everybody like giving everybody tools type thing?
Okay,
What would
I
you
can
like?
act it out.
No,
Just give me an excuse to act.
let's just.
Okay, so here's how I'm thinking it goes. Villain goes, I want tradition, and henchman sings his and I want tradition. Hey, let's go
Burn down the lab.
burn down the lab. Blackout. And the music's still going. Oh, I found the lab. Locked the thing. I don't know. Okay, got in. Oh yeah, we're gonna take it. All right, let's go find my son. Blackout.
Take what?
Take the son, because apparently the son had
Notes.
Medicine.
notes, right? Medicinal
The science
notes.
stuff. Take
So,
the science stuff.
so they broke into the
Medical
son's
the
lab,
lab
took
notes.
all of his papers, and they're like, we're gonna go find the
And
son,
so
right? So
prototype.
blacks
And some
out,
lights.
and then comes here, and then when the lights come back on,
Hey, son.
we need to decide if it's gonna, maybe there needs to be some kind of communication, like when the lights are off for the villain to be like, hey, protagonist, like, now's when you come on stage,
Or
right?
they just call him.
Yeah.
Chad, come here. I've got something to show you.
True, right? It's fucking improv. But okay, so then the hero comes on stage, ha 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 ha, I've lit all your shit on fire, and then the protagonist goes like, no, or whatever, and then it's like the inciting, the world has ended for the protagonist, right? And then the audience like sees, the audience feels with the protagonist
That
like,
puts us at all is lost.
No.
no,
This is
that's,
the inciting
we are barely right here.
Oh.
That's just the beginning.
We are right here.
They have to
So
read.
This
this
is
is the
inciting
inciting
incident.
incident?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the record, first 3 scenes are the longest ones ending, if that makes sense.
So that's
It
not
does. And it looks like, according to the notes, it's the first 2 scenes.
Two
So we have,
scenes.
yeah, that are, so the world building scene, the hero scene, and the villain scene are the first 3 scenes.
Oh yeah, I forgot that this is a whole scene in of it. I guess this is like scene 0.
Well, it's a song.
You're right, I
That's just
forgot
a song,
this is.
but-
It's like the overture almost.
So-
In order to go into an inciting incident like that, he'd have to immediately want to stop the heroes. I mean, just everything that we were saying back there about they can be similar paths to get in each other's way. They have to get into each other's way immediately.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
So here's, can I tell you something? So I did all this with May via Zoom like a few days ago. And I had originally had the plan that we have a scene 1, a scene 2, and then a scene 3 where at the end of scene 3 the inciting incident happens. And what she said is, we don't have the time. Because then what's gonna
Ah.
happen is most of our play is gonna be exposition. So that's why I was thinking we just have to get kind of creative, where basically just time-wise, the inciting incident, it either needs to happen at the end of scene 1 or at the end of scene 2. Yes.
And granted, our scenes are a little longer because we have songs in them, and a song in terms of scene stretches it out. But in radio, our we're following the same general arc of story. And our stasis and our first couple of scenes are long, and Act 1 is 20 minutes and Act 2 is 20 minutes. And we have lots of time, is what I'm saying. So we, you have lots of time, relatively, even tucking in the songs, to have a little bit of scene work before you immediately burn the lab down. Like, there is,
Okay.
like,
I
because it's
okay.
15 minutes for a 3-minute song and 2 scenes. So like, that's 2 6-minute scenes, that's long.
Okay. So do you guys think that we should do a scene 3 that basically ends in an inciting incident?
No, I think it's right where it's at. I just mean we don't have to
time.
like start the villain scene with, I am destroying the notebooks, like in second 1 of that. Like, we can establish them.
Okay, you know what, and maybe, how about this? Instead of post-villain song, instead of it going into a song montage, just like maybe the scene continues,
To accomplish what? And
to
then-
get to the inciting incident.
I think the
But we've
inciting
already got
incident
to
could
it.
also be after scene 3,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
and then just rising
I
action.
think it'd be good to have wiggle room.
Okay, so so basically,
If it hasn't happened.
scene 3, I know May wants this to be a fun scene.
Yeah.
The villagers and whatnot.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like structure in Save the Cat, basically, he says that the audience needs a little bit of a
Need a
relief.
break.
After the shit hits the fan, the audience
Yeah.
needs a little bit of a relief. So I almost think like rather than putting the inciting incident in at
Well, and there's
Yeah.
passage of
Already,
time, like,
if it hasn't, if the villain kind of had their one.
3 is a passage of time from the inciting incident, and then they're already on the quest, so they have to like get their backpack and
Yeah.
decide to do it and do all that
Yeah,
shit
and then there
during
could be
scene
like
3.
a time
Yeah.
jump,
Yeah.
right, too, where they're like already kind of into their quest.
Yeah.
Whether you do a montage or not, you could just say you don't go into the feel-good scene until we see the protagonist suffer.
Yeah.
Something bad.
Whether it's a
Okay.
montage or not, or it's in the song, at the end of the song, after the song, lights may black out, come back, like whatever things happen,
Yeah.
we don't move on to palate cleanser until we see the protagonist in pain.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want
'Cause
me to
that
put a
does
note?
seem theatrically very, very, very good.
Okay, how about I put a little note here that says optional scene, like 2B, or what, well, like an optional extra scene could be inserted here, building to the inciting incident?
Oh, no.
I want to go back to the point I said before, which relates to that, which is using the example you said, I'm going to burn down the lab. His thing that he feels strongly about has to immediately impact the hero to do that, to have that happen. So
Yeah.
if it's going to be somewhat like they're coming this way, like you were
Yeah.
saying
Well,
back
that's
there.
what she was saying.
It's too, you can't have him say, "Ha ha, I'm burning down your lab," because he's doing it to him already. But if there is a scene here where the incident, the montage, not directed specifically at the hero, just doing the evil things, has an effect on the hero. Now we have a little scene here where the hero goes, "Oh my gosh, he's burning down things all over time." That's going to stop me from getting. It's not
But-
aimed at the hero.
That's padding time.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it's the
The
only
whole
way to
point of-
not have his intention to be able to specifically stop our hero, and that's not.
It
in every
doesn't have
example-
to have an intent of specifically stopping
Right.
the hero. It has the effect of specifically stopping the
Not
hero.
if he says, "I'm going after your lab to
In
burn
this
it down."
example, it was
Right.
a lab, but
So if the montage is more general about just doing evil things that affect the hero, great. But then we need a scene like
The
you
hero
said,
should
Sue,
still
where the hero
witness
reacts.
it.
to
What if,
that.
Reacts
what if,
to it, yeah.
what if what if the intention is not to burn down the lab, but to create space for something else, and just because of that, he throws away the lab. He doesn't value his son's creation.
Ah.
He
I
just,
wasn't-
he needs that
like it was
space.
an accident. Yeah.
Daniel's got his hand up.
Daniel.
I think one thing is like, that's like kind of said is the inciting incident doesn't have to be that bad. It just has to incite something. Like
True.
the hero's on a path, and the villain's on a path. So it could be like, you know, the hero wants to like heal the world with marshmallows. The hero goes up to be like, "Hi, Dad, I have this thing. Oh, this looks good. How much does it cost? $1 billion? We don't have that money." And then he goes on the quest to get the money. But then it's like other stuff happens. But it's something to like show that the hero and the villain are at odds.
Okay.
And then afterwards, like as the hero's going on the quest to go to the midpoint, then afterwards you can like see the effects. So that way, when you drop it really, really hard for all the loss. Because if you do that montage of everything bad, you're burning down everything. After the midpoint, where are you gonna go?
Because to me, it felt like we were doing Dark All is Lost, destroying everything.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Okay.
inciting incident. If going back to the examples, like Little Mermaid, that's Ariel meeting Ursula. Nothing happens, but like
Yeah.
it's showing the two people in conflict. Ariel goes on her journey while Ursula in the background's going like, "Ha ha ha, you're doing exactly what I want." And then all is lost is when Ariel loses her voice, and then she goes back from there. I mean, Black Panther, Killmonger, and T'Challa meeting. That's like the inciting incident where they're like going. T'Challa goes on his quest, all is lost, is like there, and then he goes back. It doesn't necessarily need to be like, oh, something needs to like happen. It's okay. It's hero and villain are meeting. You already established like the hero is the hero and the villain's the villain. Now you need to like figure out like, okay, how is like the hero doing? What's the hero gonna go on a quest on?
So to map it on to what we're doing, instead of the lab getting burned down, we could have the father and son have an argument, and the son being like, "I'm just gonna do it in secret," and then the darkest hour's father discovers he actually followed through with it, found the secret lab, and then destroyed everything.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. In that case.
So you're throwing
We
the
don't need
hero
extra
into
scenes
the
on top of the
villain's
existing scenes.
Okay, so in that case, you just like going back to here. So you want to keep this as is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You guys
because we
are
still
okay?
have this sister character who's with the hero who's dying or whatever, like. We have, remember that was the motive, that was the desire to save his sister.
Sister.
So
Oh
I
my
think
God.
we're good.
That's a lot of processing. Okay.
I think we can keep what you
I think
have
we're
there
good.
as long as the villain's action isn't directed specifically at the hero. It's just thwarting him. Because then here, he has to take on his quest to make up the fact that these things have been happening around town, but not aimed at him.
Yeah.
Because then he gets a reason to go on the quest to make up for that.
A lot of
saying
that
what
comes down to
happens
the
at stake.
villain's goal needs to not be to just obstruct the hero.
Right.
Like the dad might want all his sons to succeed equally. And the only way he can envision that happening is if the youngest one is like the other brothers. He doesn't hate the youngest son, he's not exclusively trying to cancel every plan he has, but he just can't envision any other way other than tradition.
I like that.
Other than, that becomes a much richer villain, and it doesn't need to be exclusively obstructionist, and then it's said the argument.
So the dad could just be like, "Look, candy kills people. I'm a realist. Deal with it." So now we have the two,
Yeah.
Fighting heads. Okay.
not personally, but over a world view.
Question. From what you all said, I almost feel like we should add another scene in here.
No, I think putting it at the beginning of On Quest accomplishes that. As long as we don't specifically thwart the hero there, we don't need that extra scene.
Well,
Okay.
thwart but not blockade and
Right.
destroy.
Accidentally block. He's
Right.
doing
'Cause an
putting things in
inciting
place
incident-
that are going to stop the hero, but not to stop the hero.
The inciting
Oh,
incident isn't a thwart. It's an incitement. It's a spark.
I'm not doing the inciting so much as the montage.
In that case, how about this? How about, okay, singing, I forgot what the hell we were, villain sings the I Want song, whatever, what was he? Tradition, hero sings tradition, comes over here, does something totally unrelated to the hero. You know what I mean, just maybe like, well, we need to increase the sugar content
Great.
in our thing, and then maybe like montage, and
Make it
maybe the
more
final
addictive.
montage is the hero like by himself, or the hero with like the sidekick like unrelated to the villain, and then goes through the inciting incident, and that's like the hook at the end of the villain
That
song.
was your inciting incident, if I'm
But you
understanding
wanna know
it.
why?
You wanna
We
see
need
the
a-
hero find out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's, I think
because-
that's the on Quest.
No,
No,
The quest is
sorry,
what he's
that's
going to
not
do
the
after he
inciting
finds out.
incident, that's the inciting
Yeah, the inciting incident is the villain saying, I'm gonna put more sugar into it. Then we see something lighter,
But
and then the hero
I think by
reacts.
this definition, the audience doesn't count the inciting incident as done until we know the hero is aware of it.
correct.
Okay.
Now we need to see
If
the
the hero doesn't know,
hero's
it is a-
concern. Maybe it's not complete devastation, but that the hero reacts that this is a bad thing.
That's why it's literally the spark that lights the fire under the hero's ass.
Right.
Yeah, because remember the audience feels with the protagonist, so they need to experience it with the protagonist, and that's why like again it's not just one but multiple books said that like it has to happen like in scene. The inciting incident you can't just say like, oh, this happened to Tom. You need to like experience the inciting
Show,
incident.
don't
with
tell.
Tom.
I guess part of my problem, and then I'll let you, sorry, is that if it's just one little moment in a montage, one of the biggest things in the early plot, the hero's reaction to what happened, is getting reduced to a little piece of a montage
It's the
instead
button
of
of
a
the
scene.
scene.
Yeah.
It's the literal blackout. It's the last button of the
But it's
the
probably
intro.
gonna be about
You know, I
6
think
lines,
you're
7 lines
right.
in a montage.
But to piggyback off of that, it's not that hero's lowest point as well. It's gonna get dramatically worse at the climax.
Yeah, they're not gonna miss
So
it.
they're gonna have that emotional part, it's like here, and then later on, it's gonna be even worse. Does that make sense?
Is the problem for you the montage aspect of it?
Yeah, that you're taking something really important, you're making it just a quick moments in a montage.
Yeah, I
The
actually.
hero's reaction to the incite. It just seems like it's getting glossed over to throw into a montage.
I agree with you.
Well, I was invested in the story we're building, and I feel like we're trying to be too perfect, so we can just stumble our way through
Yeah,
it.
stumble through one.
Yeah.
Do you want me?
We
How
also
about
need
this?
to do
How
a
about
time
this?
check, 'cause-
Why don't I put
Yeah.
a little arrow that says possible option
That's
of
great.
Yeah.
adding a, and
I
then
like
we
that.
can workshop it and figure out
Yeah.
real time because
Good idea.
this is like it is so dense we may not even be able to
Yeah.
do that. But also time wise, for exposition scenes might be
It's
too
not
much.
Tolstoy, it's a musical.
All right, okay, so I'm gonna put it right here.
Could be a
Tolstoy,
scene-
the
it could be a scene
musical.
like
Ah,
with music and lights.
Just talk while I just do
Something
background
happens.
words.
It's just
We don't need
scored.
extra scenes.
A scored scene. A dramatic scored scene.
But it seems like basically as long as we hit it around, as long as we hit the inciting incident and start the quest somewhere around minute 15,
Yeah,
then anyway.
Especially if that scene doesn't have a song. It doesn't have to be super long.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great
Oh my God.
fucking
No, I was trying to stress it, I totally agree.
Instead of scored scene, it's like music and lights, but talking.
That, you said that?
She did. I didn't
Great
think it quite. I was
minds.
trying to reiterate. I promise. Not steal it.
so is scene 3, it's lighthearted, whatever, but it is establishing that the world is, as it was, or the world is starting to change from
Right.
the world building.
Yeah, it has to somehow, because again, it's like this whole story needs to revolve around the protagonist, right? So even though it is a fun scene, it can't just be completely unrelated. It still has to have something to do.
It's everybody twice their size because they're eating the double sugar chocolate. The world has changed.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's moving. The story's moving along, and it introduces the B characters here. Because I know, like in Save the Cat, his thing is like, basically an all is lost moment. And here, the B characters come in and help the A characters. So that's something that we can do. But anyway, B characters introduced here that will then continue throughout the story somehow.
Can we do an example in ours of a third scene? Like who would the fun, who could our fun scene be?
That's
that would
the
still
seagull.
help,
Oh, it could be
that would
some
still help the
kids
protagonist.
who are eating the chocolate factory.
Well, it's an outcome of the sugar being pumped up. So that's why I say like everybody's twice their size.
Like the
Everything's getting bigger.
marshmallows.
It's like the fish trying to get Ariel to, with the rowboat and kiss the girl and all that stuff, or not BR guess, what's it, Under the Sea. Like that's, Under the Sea is scene 3.
What if it
Under
is?
Kind
the,
of.
Under the Sea is further
Marshmallows
along.
I wanna be a
But I just mean the vibe,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Mean
we're all
marshmallows,
here,
enjoying getting
Yeah.
we're
everybody
your
fat.
friends, we love
Yeah.
you, and
That's funny. Mean marshmallows?
Enjoying getting everybody
Let's
fat.
be our
It's gotta be an
guest,
outcome of the
really.
double sugar in some way.
Okay.
It could
Wait,
just-
what was the inciting incident?
It could be
Dad
like
doubling the sugar.
white collar
Dad
workers
doubling the sugar.
laughing at all the family.
well, that's not gonna
problems
change the
going on
sugar,
around.
it's tradition. Dad says no.
Yeah, I didn't agree to changing sugar.
Yeah,
We're
Dad
keeping
says
everything
no.
the same.
Okay, that was
Okay,
what she said.
so Dad.
Tradition.
Oh, okay. Dad doesn't agree to change anything, so Hero decides to do it behind the dad's back,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
everyone is on toilet
Secret. Okay, and then the fun and games are mean
Yeah,
marshmallows.
I remember.
with
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, and then now we cut to Hero already on
Simpler
his
days.
quest.
So he's making great progress with his.
Secret
Like there's a
lab.
spark of hope. Like I can do this.
Yeah, so hang on. I think what needs to happen is I think just because we're on a time crunch, I think there's no real success until the false victory. In the meantime, it's just everything he does to make it better, it just makes it worse and makes it worse. And it
Keeps
has
changing the
to
recipe
do-
and it's more and more sugary and more diabetic.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, so his desire is to heal people. His misbelief is that his family won't accept him. So he can't ever face his family. And so everything he does to not face his family just makes, okay, so his external desire is healing the world. Okay, sorry. So maybe,
So his false victory could be coming up with something that seems like it works, and then it doesn't.
ooh.
He uses saccharin and people start getting cancer instead of diabetes.
Oh,
Nice.
no.
Yep,
And
yep.
it sells well initially, and then then it goes all wrong.
Yeah, oh, it's even sweeter, but I'm not getting fat.
Wow, real talk.
Word.
As someone who remembers saccharin.
I use it every day.
Do you really?
It's the only thing I can tolerate.
Well, hang on,
Really?
rising
Yeah.
action, rising action. Let's think of like just maybe two things that he could do to try to develop healing medicinal
That's pretty
marshmallows
good.
without facing his family in secret.
He goes
Mushroom.
he goes to the family's biggest competitor.
With the new product, the
Yeah.
saccharin product.
Yeah.
Goes to
Stay puffed.
Stay
What?
puft.
Stay puft.
Stay puft.
Stay puft.
Stay Puft.
Makes the marshmallows mini.
Yeah.
It makes what?
He makes the marshmallows mini.
Makes it mini.
Mini?
Mini.
Mini. Oh, okay. Makes mini makes
mini.
mini
Mini medicinal marshmallows.
medicinal.
Mini
Sounds
meds.
like a song.
That's the song.
I dare you to try to
And
sing that
then,
fast.
but then what happens he just puts himself farther away from accomplishing his goal. He just
And
makes the
suck.
problem worse.
The other company actually steals his.
Ooh.
And then they sue him because all their customers get cancer.
Idea. Okay, so then that'll be like one scene. It'll be like, this is like one scene where it's like, blah blah blah. So happy you started working here at Get Puffed and or Stay
Get
Puffed,
Puffed.
and then blah, 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 and then at the end, yeah, you gotta go and actually we've acquired your information. Get out the door, and then wah, 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 then
Everything
black
you do here
out.
is proprietary.
Yeah. Like basically each scene has like an arc to it. And then okay, and then let's come up with one more thing where he tries to solve the problem and makes it worse. I love a like y'all.
She gets sick from the saccharin, the sister.
Wait, hang on. That's the false victory.
But she gets sick from it. It's
He
getting
thinks
worse.
he's done it, and then they steal his formula, and then his sister even gets sick, so he goes down even further. She's eating the steak puffins.
Yeah.
So it was a bad formula, and he lost it all.
Wait, hang on, y'all.
It's
This
about
is
his
why
family.
we're doing this.
Maybe he tries to talk to his family or his mom or something.
Oh, that's great.
Because it has to come back to that
Yeah.
internal desire and fear of his family. And then the family gets into a huge fight. I'm pulling this out of my ass.
So maybe the family
He
fights.
tries to get his chem teacher to help him, but he
So-
tells his parents.
Okay.
But we can't pull in a new character in scene 7.
I like that idea of opening up to the family, and then they're like, you're tampering with her medicine. You cannot see your sister again.
Oh.
Okay, well that's over here, right?
That's all it's lost for
Well.
sure.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Got them there.
All right, whatever. Let's just get. We get it. We came up with one here. So okay. So Fall's victory is he invents saccharin, starts selling it, and then wait, what?
Reaches out to his family, and then they.
Oh yeah, because he's famous, right? So his family finds out.
Yeah, and then they say you're messing with your sister's medicine. You cannot see her.
Ooh, okay, family.
And you're messing with tradition.
And tradition.
Yeah.
Our
And they
family,
steal
we had a
his
whole
medicine.
younger
song about
sisters
it.
always
What's
die.
like the climax of his family? I don't know. Confrontation.
That feels like my climax, yeah.
Confrontation with the family.
Okay, that's all is lost.
Yeah.
Is gonna be.
He's losing his
when-
sister.
It's gonna be here when he loses everything. Because here he's on top of the world. He's famous. He's just invented saccharin, whatever. And then maybe this is gonna be when like an article finding releases that it's cancerous. Okay, article published that it's cancerous.
Someone has to make that bold choice, right? We talked about
Yeah, okay, and then here he loses contact with sister, all is lost, no hope, maybe now he's.
And the
And
company
there's
steals
gotta be a
his.
family confrontation
Oh
here
yeah,
too, right?
she put that right
Oh,
there.
is that right?
Oh,
Sorry.
do you want that to be the climax?
Seems like
so.
it.
Oh,
Take
yeah,
the lead,
maybe.
Brandon. Tell them.
Climax family confrontation?
Yeah, maybe.
Like some.
Well, eventually he
Romeo
has
and
to
Juliet-
sack up and confront them because he was always afraid that he couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So in the all is lost moment, right here, in the aha moment, is when the hero realizes his misbelief is wrong, and he changes his misbelief. Maybe like his mom comes through for him. When he's at his worst, she knows the worst about him. Maybe some members of his family come through for him, which then changes his belief.
Or the
The
sister.
brothers.
Or the sister.
brothers.
I have something a
That's
little
a really good idea.
Or the sister
The-
herself.
okay, maybe the brothers and the sister. They're like carrying the sick
Yeah.
sister.
So I
Yeah.
have something.
Like, don't listen to Dad. We love you.
Sort of like, here's some red 40.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
I'll make everything better.
Brothers come through.
So
There's almost no lead in it.
Almost none.
Okay, so the brothers come
mercury
through,
for color.
they leave, they basically jump ship and now are on the side of, what's his name?
Chad
Taffy.
Taffy.
I had an idea
Yeah.
that while he was meddling with her medicine, he learned that his father was actually poisoning his sister
Oh.
because he doesn't want her to inherit any of the
You
business.
are always big concepts in Act 3, man.
Okay.
Like you're
That
the
is
king
so
of big
complicated.
concepts in
Okay,
Act
maybe
3.
the brothers
Too
come with that
complicated.
information.
Yeah.
Okay, come with information that dad is poisoning.
That's big
And we're
info
back
in
to the
Act 3,
supernova.
dude.
Yeah. That doesn't feel like it goes with the rest of the stuff so much.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't. Okay.
Well, maybe
Well,
then
it's
look
an
at-
I would read it in a
moment.
book, but
I
in a
mean,
short
because
show.
it's like he's not a bad guy.
And he
He is a
steps
bad
up.
guy. literally the
Francis
bad guy.
family.
But we were just talking about the villain doesn't have to be a bad person.
He doesn't have, okay.
Right?
And it's an external force bringing the villain down rather than the hero actually stepping up and winning. He's gonna win because the
It's-
father
Oh,
crashed.
it's a true
okay,
sense-
yeah, like overcoming his internal stuff.
Right. It's something external solving his problem with his father.
Okay, all right. So it gets the chap. But okay, so brothers come through proving that family is loyal and family will stick by your side, and then they together, and then he comes up with the courage to go face his father.
The sister says, "You gave me hope. Keep trying," and then he does try something and it succeeds, or something like that. That something can help him actually succeed of his own volition.
Well, so we're right. So we're right here. So we're right here. So this is I'm trying to think of an example. What is it in like Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid, and like it's basically it's like when they fix they
They finally see each other.
it's in the Little Mermaid, when fucking Flounder and like Sebastian come to Little Mermaid and they're like, they tell her that, oh, it's Ursula. And then then basically that's like the aha moment, and they like get, and this is in the point of the movie when it's the montage of the shoot, putting on the battle stuff, the helmet, and then they like go into
Call to
battle.
arms? What-
Because I
what-
feel like
Oh,
what you
call
are
to
describing
arms.
would happen here. You know? Because basically from this moment on is the ending.
Yeah, this is the moment where they realize Ursula has a trident, and she's been masquerading as this woman, and now they're coming together to rally and deliver the coup de grace, the final movement.
And what does
Yeah,
Ariel
it's
do
like
to
the
finally?
final
And what does
countdown.
Ariel do to make that happen? Because I don't remember.
She
It's,
lays there, and the prince runs a ship into Ursula.
It's violent.
It's
which is
when
what we
Katie
teach children.
So
Takes
Ursula
credit
does-
for the burn book.
So Ariel doesn't solve it in the end. The prince kills her.
Yeah.
Then that
And
sounds
then not
disappointing.
only that, fucking, it's her dad experiences the internal growth from realizing, oh, I guess humans aren't bad, and makes the internal change, and then just picks up his trident and changes her to.
So she didn't actually solve it.
So
But no, wait, wait.
as someone that studied the structure, what do you think with this story so far would be the perfect thing that we're
Ending
looking for?
to this. Okay,
To-
I will say, Milo, what you are describing, yes, but we would just add it here. So
To follow Mean Girls, Katie ostracizes herself from society by taking credit for the burn book, which she is innocent of. So in this case, this would be Chad Taffy saying, "No, I just got to buck to tradition," and by leaning into his own worst fear, comes through the other side victorious by getting his father's respect for doing that, or getting his father's ear by seeing his father and listening and not being
Yeah.
at loggerheads, like,
growing as a person, becoming a bigger person.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
Standing up to his
Yeah.
father.
Yeah, because it's like ultimately at the end of every story needs to experience growth.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay. So you think that he will understand where his father is coming from, and instead of going to fight his father, will go to kind of meet in the middle?
kind of more heroine's journey than hero's journey, where they come together rather than clash.
So the thing with that, right, because I read that book too, because you recommended it. The only thing is, I feel that that may set up a hero's journey,
Yeah, I know.
you know? So,
But we as a group keep doing heroine's journey by gathering people and gathering the villagers and having our henchmen and then our sidekicks and stuff, like, we're assembling a team.
yeah,
And we're being Harry Potter, we're not being Wonder Woman.
yeah. But I don't know. I feel like we gotta pick one or the other. And,
Why don't you just decree for now?
huh?
Why don't you decree for now?
Okay, so here's
Decide.
so here's what I think. Again, it's like, remember, most stories people are putting a lot of time and thought and really thinking it through, and we we are literally coming up with all this out of our assholes.
Right.
Like in real time, and there's 20 of us that are coming up with it together. So I feel like we almost need to make it like as simple and straightforward as we are able to come together and deliver a satisfying, engaging, funny story for the audience.
So what's an example here?
Yeah.
where-
What could he do to make that happen?
To do this here, well, I mean,
We
so
want
okay,
them to-
brothers come. I almost feel like it would have to be something big. How would have to be like a standoff with his dad.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Could the stuff he sold to the other company been doing really well, and like surprise, I am a talented person, and you need to recognize and respect me as your son?
Oh, he
Yes,
could buy his father's company.
Oh,
He
okay.
could present
Okay.
him the deed, and maybe the brothers are the trustees, and the brothers are like, yeah, well, I guess that would be the resolution. It would have to be,
The dad could have the character change too, like he could come around.
yeah,
Just an idea.
okay, how about that? How about he offers to buy his father's company, they talk it out, and then
Confront.
okay, maybe it's just like a verbal confrontation, and the dad,
Could the sister
Sister's dying.
have snuck some of the medicine, the medical marshmallows, and made a full recovery? And she comes in and, look, Father, look what your son's done.
Yeah.
okay,
Scared
you
me.
just, sure,
Have
we'll
we
do that.
established that the marshmallows killed though earlier?
Well, she's
This is
diabetic and there's sugar
saffron
Okay.
Saccharine.
ones.
Okay.
Okay,
But there
so-
were others. She got the THC ones.
Oh, got it.
So,
Okay.
okay, sisters.
I mean CBD, said the wrong thing.
Haha.
No, we heard you.
Presumably there was a lot of recipe prototypes that you went.
Yes.
Well,
In real life, there wouldn't be because we were
Yeah,
moving
he
so
saves
fast.
her life, and Dad has to admit that he was right about about his formula. And like tradition
that
isn't
idea.
everything if you can't save your
And
family.
then finding out that Stay Puft is being really successful, and him saying to his father,
Family is
"Look what they
more
did.
important
That
than
was my
tradition."
idea." See,
Yeah,
this-
family's more
I like that.
important than tradition, says Mark, which is true. We got the
Okay,
sister alive.
I
think
got
it's
it.
Too much extra information.
so this is what happens. Okay, so the dad is a piece of shit villain. So they all show up and they go, hey, look, she's healed from my medicine. The brothers are on my side. And not only that, I have the money to buy your company. So the dad, he fucking takes, they're on a cliff. He fucking takes the girl, hangs her off the edge of the cliff, and
His
goes,
daughter?
he hangs his
pretty
own
bad.
daughter. He doesn't give a shit about his kids. He's Henry Ford.
Henry Ford, yeah.
Hangs his daughter off the edge of the cliff, and he goes, "You will never take away my power. Everything that I built, this is mine. And if you don't rip up those documents, I'm gonna drop her off this cliff." And then there's the crisis moment that goes da 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 da. What do I do? Do I lose all my everything, or do I lose my sister? And then in the end, the hero magically ninja jumps over, does a matrix like he first does like a front 360. Mid-air turns into like a sideways 360, and then just cunt punts him off of the cliff, and the
And
hero
grabs her.
goes
Yeah, catches it.
falls and lands, and his head explodes
Like a marshmallow.
like a marshmallow, and then
Nice.
everything ends happy. The
I don't
paperwork
know.
signing by the baby. The end. Okay, let me add in the cunt punt real quick.
The hero kills his dad, and we're all so enthused.
Okay,
This has been our show of Oedipus.
Yeah.
And Henry Ford.
There is
musical.
some there is some historical
You mean
tradition.
The woman's
Ah,
mine, father. I kill you.
I hope you guys can read my handwriting.
It's not like we're gonna act this show out.
Supplementary notes.
And then, actually, low key, maybe we can get better at. Well, I feel like let's just keep practicing.
The
And
Yeah.
discussion was way more important than whether we get this show down,
Yeah.
because we're not doing that show.
So okay. So then.
Yeah.
Ain't that a crime?
Unless,
One of us is in the audience.
I heard marshmallow.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Dan.
Can I have a place you've been
Thank
recently?
you.
France. I heard marshmallow.
I heard
Thank
marshmallow.
You.
Thank you. Can I have a some more ingredients?
Hear it from Brenda.
Alright.
Wait, I haven't finished writing it.
Yeah, can I have some more ingredient that you roast over a fire?
Chocolate.
It just got that way.